Students, today in this session we will discuss ethers, organic compounds having the general formula ROR, that is divalent oxygen is in direct link with carbon chain. Classification of ethers. Ethers are classified simple or symmetrical, and second one mixed or unsymmetrical. At first, simple ethers or symmetrical ethers. Symmetrical means similar. Simple ethers in which ethereal oxygen is surrounded by similar groups. Dimethyl ether, diethyl ether. Simple ethers, they have the formula ROR. That is similar groups on both sides. Second one, unsymmetrical or mixed ethers. Divalent oxygen is surrounded by dissimilar groups ROR dash. Just like ethyl methyl ether, methyl phenyl ether, ethyl phenyl ether. Students, that's the commercial name of ethyl phenyl ether, that is phenitone. And anisole is the commercial name of methyl phenyl ether. At first, classification of ethers, simple or mixed ethers. Simple ethers, divalent oxygen is surrounded by identical groups. Dialkyl ethers, diethyl ether, dimethyl ethers. Mixed ethers, divalent oxygen is surrounded by dissimilar groups. Ethers are further classified alkyl or aryl ethers. Alkyl ethers. Friends, when both groups are alkyl, we call them as alkyl ethers, just like dimethyl ether, diethyl ether. Second, aryl ethers, aromatic ethers. They are further of two types. First one, alkyl aryl ethers. When one of the group is alkyl and the other is aryl, just like this one, students. Methyl phenyl ether, ethyl phenyl ether. These are alkyl aryl ethers. And second one, dry aryl ethers. When both groups are phenyl, C6H5 or C6H5, diphenyl ether. We call it diaryl ether. When both groups are aryl, it is diaryl. When both groups are alkyl, it is simple alkyl ether. When one group is alkyl and other is aryl, we call it alkyl aryl ether, just like the example. Now students, suppose CH3O C2H5. At first, it is simple or mixed ethers. Your answer, it is mixed ether. Now please tell me, it is alkyl or aryl ether? It is alkyl ether because both the groups are alkyl. Next, nomenclature. Students, according to IUPAC system, we use the term alkoxyalkane for the nomenclature of ethers. Whenever we have to name ethers, only we should know alkoxyalkane term. Alkoxyalkane. Now please come here, we have to give IUPAC name. These are simple ethers. In simple ethers, one side of the ethereal oxygen is substituent and the other is word root, that is parent chain. One side is substituent and the other is parent chain. We use the term alkoxyalkane, that is ethoxyethane, methoxymethane. But in case of mixed ethers, that side of the ethereal oxygen is substituent containing smaller group. Friends, one end contain one carbon chain and the other end contain three. Substituent will be that side containing small carbon atom, less carbon atom. Now its name is methoxypropane, alkoxyalkane. Methoxypropane. You may say that's the parent chain 1, 2, 3, 1 methoxypropane. Now again students, it is clear, it is mixed ethers. It is alkyl or aryl ether. It is alkyl ether because both the groups are alkyl. Now that end is substituent containing less carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lowest number rule. Its IUPAC name is 2-methoxy. That's the chain of 5 carbon atoms. Pentane. We use alkoxyalkane when we have to give IUPAC names. After this, students, next Isomerism in ethers. Already we have discussed the concept of isomerism. Iso means same, meros means parts. Same formula, different properties. Chain isomerism. Isomers differ by the nature of carbon chain. So in this pair of ethers show which isomerism. It's clear. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4. When we name mixed ethers, the small end is substituent and the long end is parent chain. Its name is 1-methoxybutane. 4 carbon atoms are there. 1-methoxybutane. Now we have to name the students. There's a chain of 3 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. 1-methoxy. 2-methyl propane, because that's a chain of 3 carbon atoms. Friends, whenever word root change, it means 100% there is branching. Isomers differ by the nature of carbon chain. That's straight chain and it is branch chain. It is chain isomerism. Second is functional isomerism. Isomers differ by the nature of functional group. ROR, ether, ROH, alcohol. Same formula. This pair of compounds show which isomerism? Definitely you will take functional isomerism. Students, again there are 3 pairs. First, alcohol and ethers. Alcohol show functional isomerism with which organic compound? Ethers. Aldehyde and ketones. Aldehyde with ketones. We will discuss in aldehyde and ketone, and acids with esters. Acids undergo functional isomerism with esters. This pair show which isomerism? Your answer is functional. Third is metamerism. Isomers differ by the nature of alkyl group which is in link with similar functional group. Both are ethers. It is symmetrical ethers. Both ends contain 2 carbons. It is unsymmetrical. One end contain 1 carbon and the other end contain 3. This pair show which isomerism? Metamerism. Isomers differ by the nature of alkyl group with similar functional group. After isomerism, students, next important methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. Number 1, from haloalkanes. Haloalkanes, that is RX. And its naming reaction we call Williamson synthesis reaction. Already we have discussed in haloalkanes. Williamson synthesis reaction. Students, in this reaction both simple and mixed ethers, aliphatic and aromatic ethers are prepared. What is Williamson synthesis reaction? That is reaction of haloalkane with sodium salt of alcohol or sodium salt of phenol. It is nucleophilic substitution reaction, students. Halide ion, it is replaced by the negative part of the attacking reagent. Attacking reagent is sodium salt of alcohol. Sodium possesses strong affinity for halide ions. What happens? NaBr eliminates. Now what is left? C2H5O, C2H5. That is ether. It is alkyl ether and simple ether. Both the groups are identical. Now when we treat haloalkane with sodium salt of phenol, C6H5OH is phenol. Upon treating it with sodium salt of phenol, we got aromatic ether. Again, students, similar nucleophilic substitution. Halide ion, sodium possesses strong affinity. What will happen? NaBr eliminates. Now what is left? C6H5O, C2H5. Aromatic ether, phenitol, ethyl phenyl ether. Now students, there are some limitations of Williamson synthesis reaction. The first limitation is halorenes are not used. It will not happen that we treat halorene with sodium salt of alcohol. NaBr eliminate and we got C6H5O, C2H5. Students, no reaction proceeds now. What will happen? No reaction. Because halorenes, they are less reactive than haloalkane towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. Already we have discussed this question. Halorenes are less reactive than haloalkane towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. They are in resonance and acquires double bond character, so its breakage becomes difficult. We will mention no reaction. The first limitation is halorenes are not used in this reaction. Now students, second limitation of Williamson synthesis is 3-degree haloalkanes are not used. Students, whenever it's 3-degree haloalkane, all times exception will happen it undergoes SN1 reaction. That is what will happen, dehydrohalogenation, and give alkene as the product. Now we don't got NaBr as the side product and mix ether as the product. What will happen, it is 3 degree haloalkane, students. Now in this case the product is alkene and not ether. It undergoes dehydrohalogenation reaction, loss of halogen and loss of hydrogen, CH3, just like I break it, CH3, loss of halogen and loss of hydrogen. What will happen, from alpha carbon halogen eliminates and from beta carbon hydrogen eliminates, and alpha beta they come in unsaturation, they get linked with unsaturation. What is the product? CH3 CCH3 CH2 double bonded. What happens? Dehydrohalogenation. Sodium possesses strong affinity for halide ions. What will be formed? NaBr, and hydrogen get linked with electronegatory oxygen. The side product is C2H5OH. The second product is ethanol. We got plus NaBr plus C2H5OH. Williamson synthesis reaction. Ethers are prepared. First limitation, we can't use halorines, and second, the 3 degree haloalkanes are also not used because they give alkene. Undergo dehydrohalogenation reaction. I hope the concept is clear, and it's important, students, with respect to your competitive exams. Such questions all times will be there. Second, by the action of dry silver oxide. Students, when we treat haloalkane with dry silver oxide, again we got ether as the product. It's bimolecular reaction, twice of Rx participates. What will happen, students? 2 AgBr eliminates. Now what is left? CH3CH2O, CH2CH3, that is ether. CH3CH2O, CH2CH3. Twice of this participates, students. CH3CH2Br. What happens? 2 AgBr eliminates and ether is obtained. Again, its limitation is only symmetrical ethers are prepared by this method because it's bimolecular. Both haloalkanes will be similar, so it always gives symmetrical ethers. Third one, by the action of diazomethane on alcohol. Students, upon treating alcohol with diazomethane in the presence of fluoroboric acid, what will happen? Nitrogen escapes. From diazomethane, nitrogen escapes and it gets in link with hydrogen atom of alcohol. It forms link with hydrogen atom of alcohol, that is CH3CH2O CH3. CH3, it is mixed ether. These are the methods of preparation. Next, students, important, by dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration means loss of water. Definitely we use concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 possess strong affinity for water. Whenever we use, what will happen? Dehydration. Friends, upon treating alcohol with concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature, optimum temperature 413 to 415, it's bimolecular. Friends, what will happen? 2 molecules of alcohol participates, ROH, ROH. At 413 to 415 optimum temperature, it is bimolecular. What will happen, students? Concentrated H2SO4, we are using dehydration. One will lose OH and the other will lose H. That is loss of water. Now it is clear, oxygen electronegative, charge negative, carbocation is formed, leads to the formation of bond, that is CH3CH2O CH2CH3. What is the product? CH3CH2O CH2CH3. Upon treating alcohol with concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature, the product is ether and it is bimolecular. One will lose OH and second will lose H. What is left? CH3CH2O CH2CH3. Students, again, in this case there is major limitation, that is temperature of the reaction should be carefully controlled. Temperature should be carefully controlled. Students, it is alcohol. Similar reagent, concentrated H2SO4, one at 413 Kelvin and the other at 443 Kelvin. above 440. Temperature should be carefully controlled because at higher temperature, alcohol is dehydrated to alkene. At higher temperature, the product is alkene, and at 413 temperature, the product is alcohol. Because at 413 Kelvin temperature, it is bimolecular. Twice of these participates, what will happen? Dehydration. In both routes, dehydration will occur because we use concentrated H2SO4. In this route, it is bimolecular and we got ether. CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3. It's bimolecular. Temperature is mentioned, students, 413. But at 443 Kelvin, it is monomolecular. It's monomolecular. Only one molecule of alcohol participate. But concentrated H2SO4, what will happen? Dehydration. Students, loss of OH from alpha carbon and H from beta carbon at high temperature. OH from alpha and H from beta leads to a formation of double bond between alpha and beta. What is left? One hydrogen eliminates from beta, CH2 is left, and OH from alpha, again CH2 is left. That's already mentioned. Temperature should be carefully controlled. Complete the reaction. Alcohol concentrated H2SO4 443 Kelvin. The product is alkene. Complete the reaction. Alcohol concentrated H2SO4 413. Students, the product is ether. When temperature is not mentioned, it is general concentrated H2SO4. It is dehydration, students. Again we will lose water. And already done a number of times, the product will be alkene. Water is formed by the combination of H and OH. Alpha OH and beta H eliminates and product is alkene. We will form ether only under this condition when temperature is mentioned 413 Kelvin, optimum temperature. Now it is bimolecular and give ethers as the product. After this, next, chemical properties. In chemical properties, students, at first ethers are chemically inert. Explain. Ethers are chemically inert. Inert means less reactive. Just like noble gases, inert gases, group 18, complete octet. Now ethers are inert because in ethers divalent oxygen is surrounded by alkyl groups on both ends. ROR. Oxygen is surrounded by alkyl groups on both ends and there is no active site. There is no active site as in alcohols or acids. What is alcohol? ROH. Electronactive oxygen is in link with H. Acid RCOH. Again electronactive oxygen is in link with H. Hence they are reactive. While ethers are inert, they are unreactive, least reactive, because in ethers divalent oxygen is surrounded by alkyl groups on both sides and have no active site as in alcohols or acids. After this, students, next, that's the question related to the shape. Both ethers and water similar shape, V shape, vent or angular. V shape, vent or angular. Now the question is, why does bond angle in ethers is more than water? Even both have same shape. We know bond angle in water 104.5 degree and that in ethers is 111 degree. Same shape. Why does bond angle in ethers is more? Students, it is clear. In ethers, oxygen is surrounded by bulky groups, while in water, oxygen is surrounded by smaller hydrogen atoms. Now what will happen? It is due to greater repulsive forces between bulky alkyl groups. Due to greater repulsive forces between bulky alkyl groups, the bond angle in ethers is more as compared to water. After next, chemical properties. The first one is reactions due to the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond in ethers. Chemical properties we are going to discuss one by one. At first, chemical reactions due to the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond in ethers. What is the formula of ether? ROR. What will happen, students? Breakage of carbon-oxygen bond. Carbon-oxygen bond. One by one we will discuss. First, with halogen acid. When we treat ether with halogen acid, that is HI, what will happen? Breakage of carbon-oxygen bond. It is clear, oxygen electronactive, R will got plus charge. Halogen acid HX, student, it is clear, halogens electronactive. Vice versa, hydrogen. HX upon treating, what will happen, students? H will approach to oxygen and X will approach to alkyl group. When we treat ether with HX, there is the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond. Oxygen acquire negative charge, electronegative element, the rest is carbocation. And we are treating it with HX. It means H positive part of the reagent will approach to electronegative oxygen and negative part will approach to alkyl group. Now students, clear what is the products? Alcohol and halolcane. CH3OH plus CH3I. Plus CH3I. The second one, please complete by yourself. That's for your assignment. Now students, important site of cleavage. These are simple ethers. You may dissociate the bond from any end. The same products are formed. But in case of mixed ethers, students, there are some key points. The first one is, in case of mixed ethers, cleavage occurs from smaller alkyl side. We are treating ethers, these are mixed ethers containing dissimilar groups with halogen acid at 373 Kelvin. Cleavage occurs from smaller alkyl side. Students, it is methyl, one end is ethyl. Which is smaller? You know methyl. Definitely we break from this end. Now which is the smaller end, students? Again methyl. Break from this end. What will happen? We are treating it with halogen acid. H will join to electronegative oxygen and iodine to carbocation. We got C2H5OH plus CH3I. Again second, students, please complete by yourself. That's second question of today's assignment. Again students, next there is some limitation in it. We are treating mixed ether with halogen acid. What I told you, breakage occurs from smaller alkyl side. It is smaller alkyl side. But students, when one of the alkyl group is tertiary, it is 3 degree carbon. When one of the alkyl group around ethereal oxygen is tertiary, it gives 3 degree halolcane. Now students, what will happen? Tertiary carbocation is formed due to stability. Cleavage occurs from that end. But it happens only if one of the alkyl group is tertiary. Cleavage occurs from that end. Oxygen electronegative, negative charge, positive. H approach to electronegative oxygen, formation of alcohol, and I2 carbocation, that is 3 degree halolcane is obtained. Again that's exception and important, 3 degree halolcane, it gives plus C2H5OH. What is the product of this reaction, students? Already I told you breakage occurs from smaller end, but here is exception because one of the alkyl group is tertiary. One of the alkyl group which is in link with oxygen of ethereal oxygen is tertiary, then it gives tertiary halolcane. It means definitely cleavage occurs from that end plus alcohol. In case the mixed ether is, then breakage occurs from smaller end. But if one of the alkyl group is tertiary, then definitely 3 degree halolcane is obtained. Please add it in your knowledge. Next students, in case of alkyl aryl ethers, these are again mixed ethers, alkyl aryl ethers, cleavage occurs from alkyl side. Cleavage occurs from alkyl side because oxygen atom of ether it is in resonance with ring. What will happen due to resonance? Double bond character and breakage becomes difficult. Alkyl aryl ethers, cleavage occurs from alkyl side. Now it is clear, students. Oxygen negative. We are treating with Hi. Hydrogen definitely approach to electronegative oxygen, and I2 carbocation. We got phenol C6H5OH plus C2H5I. In case of mixed ethers, that is alkyl aryl ethers, cleavage occurs from alkyl side. That's the third question for today's assignment. Complete by yourself. Definitely you easily do. After this, students, next key point. In case of benzyl alkyl ethers, cleavage occurs from benzyl side. It is benzyl group. When one H is replaced from toluene, we call benzyl. It is benzyl alkyl ether. Cleavage occurs from benzyl side because benzyl carbocation is stabilized by resonance. Oxygen electronegative. H will approach to oxygen and I2 carbocation. We got benzyl iodide C6H5 CH2I. plus CH3OH. These were some key points. These are the tricks, students. In case of mixed ethers, breakage from smaller side. But if one of the alkyl group is tertiary, it gives 3-degree halolcane. Alkyl aryl ethers, breakage from alkyl side. In case of benzyl alkyl ethers, cleavage from benzyl side. Students, in case of diaryl ethers, the reaction does not proceed. C6H5 or C6H5. It is diphenyl ether. Upon treating it with HI 373 Kelvin, what will happen, students? Reaction does not proceed. Oxygen is in resonance with phenyl group double bond character and breakage becomes difficult. That's the simple answer. After this, students, second reaction with dilute H2SO4. We are studying the reactions of ethers in which the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond takes place. Breakage of carbon-oxygen bond takes place. Oxygen electronegative, negative charge. Reaction with dilute H2SO4. Students, at first, please, concentrated H2SO4 is dehydration agent and dilute H2SO4, it is hydration agent. Whenever it is mentioned, what will happen, students? Reaction with water. It is dilute H2SO4. It is alkene. We know alkenes undergo addition. Pi bond breaks. Addition of water takes place. Water contain H and OH. H ion get linked with one end and OH on another end. What we got? CH3CH2OH. Means whenever dilute H2SO4 is mentioned, it is hydration reaction with water, and you know water contain H and OH. The positive part approach to negative end and negative part approach to positive end. What we got? Twice of ethanol. C2H5OH. C2H5OH and C2H5OH. Next reaction with PCl5. Upon treating ether with PCl5, what will happen, students? POCl3 eliminates phosphorus oxychloride, sp3 hybrid tetrahedral shape. POCl3 eliminates. It is clear. POCl3 eliminates means oxygen escapes. There is breakage from both ends. How many halogens are left? There are total 5. 3 eliminates, 2 are left. Both get linked with alkyl groups. We got twice of halolcane. Last reaction in which the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond takes place, it is with acid chloride. Whenever we have acid chloride, students, what will happen? Acylation reaction, breakage of carbonyl-carbon halogen bond. Breakage of carbonyl-carbon and halogen bond proceeds. The reaction is carried in anhydrous ZnCl2. Ethers, breakage of carbon-oxygen bond. The positive end get linked with negative part, we got C2H5Cl. And negative end get linked with positive part, we got CH3CO OC2H5. Students, that is ester, RCOR. Ester alkyl alkanoid, that is ethyl ethanoid, CH3CO OC2H5. These were the 4 reactions of ethers in which the breakage of carbon-oxygen bond takes place. First we studied with halogen acid HX. Second with dilute H2SO4, third with PCl5 and last with acid chloride. Now next, second type, reactions due to ethereal oxygen. Students, the oxygen atom of ether participate now in these reactions. First with Lewis acid, that is upon treating ether with electron deficient species, what will happen, students? Formation of coordination bond. Coordination complex is formed. It is electron deficient, act as Lewis acid. Oxygen donate its electron pair, leads to a formation of coordination complexes. ROR, boron trifluoride. Coordination complexes. Next reaction with concentrated acids. Again, when we treat ether with cold concentrated acid, reaction proceed due to ethereal oxygen. That is, it undergo protonation. H ion of the acid attack on oxygen. What is formed? CH3O, CH3, oxygen gets protonated. That is, oxonium salt is formed. Oxygen carrying positive charge, oxonium salt. These are the 2 reactions which proceed due to ethereal oxygen. First with electron deficient Lewis acids and second with cold concentrated acids. After this, student, third type, reactions due to alkyl group. In these reactions, the alkyl group will participate. ROR is ether. At first, there was the breakage of oxygen carbon bond. Then we studied due to oxygen atom of ether. Third, in which alkyl group participate. Reactions due to alkyl group. Number 1 with halogen molecule, that is halogenation. Students, it depends upon the condition. First, halogenation in dark. Upon treating chlorine in dark, the alpha carbon